The speeches of Gratulations Ben Jonson genius. Time, fate, and fortune have at length conspired, to give our age the day so much desired. What all the minutes, hours, weeks, months, and years, that hang in file upon these silver hairs, could not produce, beneath the Briton stroke, the Roman, Saxon, Dane, and Norman yoke, this point of time hath done. Now London, rear thy forehead high, and on it strive to wear thy choicest gems. Teach thy steep towers to rise higher with people, set with sparkling eyes thy spacious windows. And in every street, let thronging joy, love, and amazement meet. Cleave all the air with shouts, and let the cry strike through us long, and universally, as thunder. For, thou now art bliss to see that sight, for which thou didst begin to be. When Brutus' plough first gave thee infant bounds, and I, thy genius walked auspicious rounds in every furrow, then did I forelook, and saw this day mark single quote white in Clotho's book. The several circles, both of change and sway, within this isle, there also figured lay, of which the greatest, perfectest, and last was this, whose present happiness we taste. Why keep you silence, daughters? What dull peace is this inhabits you? Shall office cease upon th aspect of him, to whom you owe more than you are, or can be? Shall time know that article, wherein your flame stood still, and not aspirate? Now heaven avert an ill of that black look. Pwas possess your breasts, I wish you more of plagues, ampersand quo. Zeal when it rests, leaves to be zeal. Up thou tame river, wake, and from thy liquid limbs this slumber shake, thou drownest thyself in inefficacious sleep. And these thy sluggish waters seem to creep, rather than flow. Up, rise, and swell with pride above thy banks. Ampersand quo. Now is not every tide. Tamesis. To what vain end should I contend to show my weaker powers, when seas of pomp o'erflow the city's face, and cover all the shore with sands more rich than Tagus wealthy are? When in the flood of joy, that comes with him, he drowns the world, yet makes it live and swim, and spring with gladness, not my fishes here, though they be dumb, but do express the cheer of these bright streams. No less may these, and I boast our delights, all single quote we silent lie. Genius. Indeed, true gladness doth not always speak. Joy bred, and born but in the tongue, is weak. Yet, lest the fervor of so pure a flame as this my city bears, might lose the name, without the apt venting of her heat. No greatest James, and no less good, than great, in the behalf of all my virtuous swans, whereof my eldest there, thy pomp foreruns, a man without my flattering, or his pride, as worthy, as he's blessed to be thy guide in his grave name, and all his brethren's right, who thirst to drink the nectar of thy sight, the council, commoners, and multitude. Glad, that this day so long denied, is viewed. I tender thee the heartiest welcome, yet that ever king had to his empire's seat, never came man, more longed for, more desired, and being come, more reverenced, loved, admired, hear, and record it, ampersand quo. In a prince it is ampersand quo. No little verda, to know who are his. With like devotions, do I stoop to embrace the springing glory of thy godlike race. His country's wonder, hope, love, joy and pride, how well doth he become the royal side of this erected, and broad-spreading tree, under whose shade, may Britain ever be. And from this branch, may 1,000 branches more shoot o'er the main, and lit with every shower in bonds of marriage, kindred, and increase. And style this land, the navel of their peace. This is your servant's wish, your city's vow, which still shall propagate itself, with you, and free from spurs of hope, that slow minds move, ampersand quo. He seeks no higher, that owes his life to love. And he or she comes that is no less a part in this day's greatness, than in my glad heart. Glory of queens, and glory of your name, whose graces do as far outspeak your fame, as fame doth silence, when her trumpet rings your daughter, sister, wife of several kings, besides alliance, and the style of mother, in which one title you drown all your other. Instance, be that fair shoot, is gone before, your eldest joy, and top of all your store, with those, whose sight to us is yet denied, but not our seal to them, or aught beside this city can to you, for whose estate she hopes you will be still good advocate to her best lord. So, whilst you mortaler, no taste of sour mortality once dare approach your house, nor fortune greet your grace, but coming on, and with a forward face. Genius. Stay, what art thou, that in this strange attire, darst kindle stranger, and unhallowed fire upon this altar? Florida. Rather what art thou that darst so rudely interrupt my vow? My habit speaks my name. G.E. A flamen? Florida. Yes, and marshalless called. G.E. I so did guess by my short view. But whence didst thou ascend hither? Or how? Or to what mystic end? Florida. The noise, and present tumult of this day, roused me from sleep, and silence, where I lay obscured from light, which when I waked to see, I wondering thought what this great poem might be. When, looking in my calendar, I found the Ides of March were entered, and I bound with these, to celebrate the genial feast of Annus Perenna, Mars his guest, who, in this month of his, is yearly called to banquet at his altars, and installed a goddess with him, since she fills the year, and knits the oblique scarf that girds the sphere. Whilst for effect Janus turns his vernal look upon their meeting hours, as if he took high pride in pleasure. G.E. Sure thou still dost dream, and both thy tongue, and thought rides on the stream of fantasy. Behold here he nor she, have any altar, fane, or deity. Stoop, read but this inscription, and then view to whom the place is consecrate. 'Tis true that this is Janus' temple, and that now he turns upon the year his freshest brow, that this is Mars his month, and these the Ides, wherein his Anne was honored. Both the tides, titles, and place, we know, but these dead rites are long since buried, and new power excites more high and hardy flames. Lo, there is he, who brings with him a greater Anne than she, whose strong and potent virtues have defect stern Mars his statues, and upon them Plactus, and the world's blessed blessings. This hath brought sweet peace to sit in that bright state she ought, unbloody, or untroubled. Hath forked hence all tumults, fears, or other dark portents that might invade weak minds. Hath made men see once more the face of welcome liberty, and doth in all his present acts restore that first pure world, made of the better ore. Now innocence shall cease to be the spoil of ravenous greatness, or to steep the soil of raised peasantry with tears and blood. No more shall rich men for their little good suspected to be made guilty, or vile spies enjoy the lust of their smoldering eyes. Men shall put off their lurid minds and hearts. The time forget his old malicious arts with this new minute, and no print remain of what was thought the former age's stain. Back, Flamen, with thy superstitious fumes, and sense not here. Thy ignorance presumes too much, in acting any ethnic rite in this translated temple. Here no white, to sacrifice, save my devotion comes, that brings instead of those thy masculine gums. My city's heart, which shall forever burn upon this altar, and no time shall turn the same to ashes, here I fix it fast, flame bright, flame high, and may it ever last. Whilst I, before the figure of thy peace, still tend the fire, and give it quick increase with prayers, wishes, vows, whereof be these the least, and weakest, that no age may lease the memory of the so rich a day, but rather, that it henceforth yearly may begin our spring, and with our spring the prime, and first account of years, of months, of time, and may these Ides as fortunate appear to thee, as they to us our fatal were. Be all thy thoughts born perfect, and thy hopes in their events still crowned beyond their scopes. Let not white heaven that secret blessing know to give, which she on thee will not bestow. Blind fortune be thy slave, and may her store, the less thou seekest it, follow thee the more. Much more I would, but see, these brazen gates make haste to close, as urged by thy fates. Here ends my city's office, here it breaks, yet with my tongue, and this pure heart, she speaks a short farewell. And lower than thy feet, with fervent thanks, thy royal pains doth greet. Pardon, if my abruptness breed disease. Am person quo. He merits not to offend, that has to please.